Hey guys, what's up? It is JB Illusion, and I'm doing something a little bit different today. You know that I love talking, and sometimes, making a video of hour plus talk with gameplay is kind of laborious. It takes freaking forever. I want to do something kind of quick, kind of simple, and kind of gets everybody thinking. So we're going to be talking about Batman and the movies and kind of what villains we would like to see in them. I'm going to do a top 5 of the Batman villains that haven't made it into the movies just yet that I would love to see make it. All right, this is not in any particular order, although I will say number 1 is probably my favorite on the list, but it's in no particular order. So after this, hit me up in the comments down below with who you think should be in it. Let's go! 5. Sandra Wusan, aka Lady Shiva. Oh man, I love Lady Shiva. So, quick backstory. She is basically the preeminent martial artist in the DC universe. She is better than Richard Dragon, Batman, Bronze Tiger, Black Canary. She can take all of them on. And I really think she'd be incredibly interesting in a movie where Batman might go up against, say, the League of Assassins. Just him against her in general, maybe throw Bronze Tiger into the mix, make it a cool martial arts movie. I want, like, Batman to have an awesome fight in a movie. That's just pure martial arts, no gadgets, no nothing. I just think it would be really cool. And also, fun fact, she had a child with an assassin called David Kane. So, Sandra Wusan, when she was younger, had a sister. The two of them trained in the martial arts. They were both pretty much equal. Neither one could surpass the other, and Sandra thought that her sister was holding her back. So, she went and talked to David Kane. David Kane said, I could help you take out your sister so you could move up, so you can get stronger. If you give me a kid, and I train that kid to be an assassin. So she wound up agreeing. Her sister wound up dying, and she got more powerful, like infinitely more powerful in the realm of martial arts. David Kane raised Cassandra Kane, and Cassandra wound up killing someone for the first time when she was very young, and it mentally scarred her. She's one of the greatest martial artists in the world who is being raised by Batman. Yeah, she's one of those kids. And I really think that that could be an interesting story in the movies. Maybe it could lead up to a Batgirl movie that does not focus on a certain red-headed lady. 4. At number 4, we have the man who treats crime like a business, Black Mask. So, the funny thing about Black Mask is a lot of people, I feel like, just look down on him because he's not crazy like the Joker, or he's not mad. He is, frankly, insane. He has a penchant for torture. And he has a really, really messed up backstory that honestly kind of started with Batman himself. So, the Waynes were the preeminent socialites of Gotham. They were up there. Everyone wanted to be them, and that did cause some problems. You see, Mr. Sionis's family wanted to be the Waynes. They mimicked them. They acted as if they were great. They acted as if they were trying to be as philanthropic as the Waynes, but behind closed doors, they were horrible people, both to a young Roman Sionis and to others. Roman Sionis saw how they put on these masks of politeness when out in the public, but when they were behind closed doors, they were in fact monsters. He became very obsessed with masks as an imagery, and thanks to his parents, he developed this obsession with them, and he developed a hatred for the Wayne family. His original mask, funnily enough, was carved out of his mother's coffin. That could be a really powerful scene in a movie, after he killed both of his parents. But a later accident with fire caused his face to burn into a permanent charred black skull. So, like I said before, he treats the underworld like a business. You see, his family's business went bankrupt. So Roman Sionis decided to go into the underworld and he approached crime like a business. I mean, his family business did go bankrupt, but maybe, breaking legs might get Larry down to HR to actually do his job. You see, he found that it was so much easier than running a conventional business and eventually rose to become one of the top men in the Gotham underworld. I think it'd be a dope movie. I think anyone who has a tie back to Batman when he was younger, who could pull on those emotional heartstrings of Bruce and the audience would be fantastic. 3. At number 3, we have Azrael. Yes, there's religion. Just calm down and hear me out for a second. I mean, the Da Vinci Code did gangbusters. So just bear with me for a second. So it is the name of the champion who belongs to the Sacred Order of St. Dumas. The mantle of Azrael is passed down normally hereditarily through the lines for hundreds and hundreds of years until one Azrael named John Paul Valley destroyed a part of that order. This order's Azrael wore a suit of armor that resembled St. Dumas's and brandished flaming swords. The Order of Purity was another splinter group also called, they also called their champions Azrael. This Azrael wore mystic armor called the Suit of Sorrows, interestingly enough, and wielded the Sword of Sin and the Sword of Salvation. What I find really interesting wasn't the man who initially wore this, but it was the man after it. Michael Washington Lane, the current Azrael of the Order of Purity, who is, funnily enough, an ex-cop, who gained enhanced strength and reflexes after being experimented on by an evil scientist named Dr. Hurt. Originally, this entire process was part of a program for the police officers of Gotham City to create heroes, just in case Batman ever disappeared. The treatments, of course, drove him insane, and now he bears the Suit of Sorrows and acts as an agent of the Sacred Order. I think that this could be really cool, mostly because of the parallels between Azrael and Batman. How Azrael does fight with this religious zeal that kind of mirrors Batman's just feel for duty. Feel that he needs to do this. I also think that maybe Michael Washington Lane could have some form of resentment towards Batman. He was supposed to become Batman. He was supposed to help people. But the treatments drove him insane, and now the Suit of Sorrows drives him even more insane. I think that's something, I did mention, the Da Vinci Code, something like that with Batman, as Azrael being this constant thorn in Batman's side until later on in the movie when they come to a climactic battle, I think would be awesome. You could throw in whoever to really assist Batman during this. I mean, Hunters could show up. We could have a Robin assist. It would be really interesting as Batman and his team not only solved the riddle of the Order of Purity, but how to defeat Azrael. 2. At number 2, we have the Court of Owls. So here's the thing about the Court of Owls. They're this secret coven of Gotham's wealthy elite who are dedicated to staying in power by any means necessary. They have been there since the founding of Gotham, and they want to keep the status quo. The interesting thing with Bruce Wayne is, he is in that group of people. So having him try to figure out what exactly is up with the Court of Owls while as Bruce Wayne, I think is going to be really, really interesting as he tries to figure out, okay, which one of his friends are a part of it? Who's trying to sell him out? I think that would be kind of interesting just to see the depth in the Court of Owls. Also, there's going to be something to the side of fighting as Batman because the Court of Owls, funnily enough, has these crazy immortal assassins called the Talons who kill anyone who gets in their way or threatens to expose them. So if Bruce tries to infiltrate, the Talons will show up and try to take him out if he tries to expose them, which means that Batman will have to get involved, and it will be this interesting battle of not only Bruce Wayne in a political game, a political war of him trying to spy and try to figure out who's a part of this, he will also get some fighting in as Batman, some actual groundwork fighting against them. And I think that that would be really, really amazing. The Talons, in the animated movie, took Batman to task. And if you haven't seen the animated movie, I'd say go see it because that really sold me on them actually being the main villains of a movie.
1.
At number 1, we have Dr. Thomas, Tommy Elliot, who was a childhood friend of Bruce Wayne's and was also born into a wealthy family. You see, the two boys often played strategy-like games together. Tommy taught Bruce to think like his opponents and to use their abilities against them in order to win, which eventually proved useful years later when he became the Batman. You see, Tommy had a very, very bad family situation. His father was very abusive, and his frail, submissive mother basically let him walk all over not just him, but Tommy. She came from poverty and was willing to endure every single abuse to keep their lavish lifestyle. For all their failings, Tommy's parents made sure he was well educated, in particular, teaching him about philosophy. You see, Tommy was driven by his desire for independence and to keep his wealth. So, one day, Tommy got an idea. He severed the brake line of his parents' car, causing a crash that killed his father and injured his mother. His mother, however, was saved in an emergency operation by Dr. Thomas Wayne. While at summer camp with Bruce, Tommy kinda had a psychotic break. He was, believe it or not, released from his psychotic ward by Jonathan Crane, who eventually became the Scarecrow. During the next few years, Tommy tended to his mother. When Bruce's parents were murdered, Tommy resented him for inheriting the Wayne's family fortune, just as he had hoped to do with his parents' money. Shortly before Bruce returned to Gotham City, Tommy befriended a young woman named Peyton Riley, who would later become the second ventriloquist, a relationship of which his mother didn't really approve of. When Tommy's mother recovered from cancer that Tommy nursed her back to health from, she disowned him, subsequently cutting him off from the Elliot family fortune in retaliation for continuing his relationship with Miss Peyton. As a result, Tommy killed her by smothering her with a pillow, while Peyton killed their lawyer and destroyed Miss Elliot's new will. As far as the rest of the world is concerned, his mother had died of a household accident. Finally, the sole recipient of his family's fortune, Tommy abandoned Peyton and began traveling the world as Bruce had. Although he didn't exactly spend it, training in the martial arts, he spent it at university, where he became a successful surgeon. Tommy continued to harbor his initial grudge towards Bruce Wayne. A chance encounter with the Riddler helped form him into Hush, the villain that was going to take the fight not only to Bruce Wayne, but the Batman. So, yes! So, Black Mask is really, really cool because he has a childhood story with Bruce Wayne. There's multiple fronts that you could focus on during a movie. But with Hush, it's this direct relationship. He helped Bruce technically become who he is today, to think like he does today. How many times has applying that logic of looking at the opponent's abilities and using them against them in order to win saved the Batman? He became a surgeon like Dr. Thomas Wayne, but Dr. Thomas Wayne saved the parents that he tried to kill. When Batman lost his parents, when Bruce lost his parents, Tommy saw that as him being released. There's this really polarizing relationship between the two of them. Tommy was freed when his parents died. Bruce was imprisoned when his parents died. That was the act that forced him for the rest of his life to become the Batman. Tommy, on the other hand, could do anything he wanted after his mother was dead. He could date Peyton. He could do all of these things. He was free. But he still harbored that resentment against Bruce Wayne, against the Batman. And when he found out some very interesting things from the Riddler, he decided to take that freedom and go after the Batman. So, that was my list. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm planning on doing some more. Hit me up in the comments down below. And what Batman villain would you really enjoy seeing in a movie? So that was my list, people. I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit me up in the comments down below and tell me what Batman villain that hasn't exactly made it into the movies you would like to see. Hush is my top because I just love the backstory, how it intertwines with Bruce Wayne is just beautiful. But I'm sure you guys have some great ideas too. If you like this video, hit me up with a like. If you disliked it, the dislike button is right next to the like. And please tell me what I can do to improve this. Anyhow, as always, be excellent to each other and have a nice day. Peace out.